We've already done the upper cross, so we've got the shoulder girdle back up on the rib cage. We've got a neutral shoulder girdle, but now we need to get into the deep neck muscles and try to get the head back on the neck in those people with forward head postures. One of the very best Vladimir Janda tests for this to correct a firing order pattern in the neck. There are many firing order patterns that Vladimir Janda came up with. The neck flexion test, which is what we're going to do here. The hip extension test, hip flexion test, shoulder abduction test. But this one is the one that I always use because it is something that's very, very simple. When the person gets on the table, the very first thing you ask them to do is simply lift their head up off the table and watch what the chin does in the first 2 inches as it comes off the table. So Michelle, would you please lift your chin up off the table? Notice what happened in the very first 2 inches. She comes up a little bit toward the ceiling first before she starts to tuck. Okay, if you have a child at home and just ask them to lay down on a table and lift their head up, the first thing they're going to do is their chin's going to cock like that toward the chest, and then they're going to lift their head up. Why is that? That's because they have a perfect firing order. Longus capitis, which attaches to the base of the skull, it fires first and causes the head to cock on the neck, flex forward on the neck. Then longus coli fires immediately too, and then after the head is already in this cock position, we don't care what happens in the firing order. Usually it's sternocleidomastoid and anterior scalenes that are pulling the head on up into neck flexion. But you got to have that head on neck first. So, okay, Michelle, just one more time, come on up. Okay, so we're going to correct this, or we're going to work on this. I'm going to show you a couple techniques, and then we're going to see if we've improved her neck flexion problem. Lie on your left side for me, please. When you get them on their side, always flex their knees up to keep them square on the table. And I'm not putting a bolster or pillow underneath Michelle's head here because I want her to hold her own head up and I want her to turn it all the way face toward the table. I'm also going to put her into a little flexion. Now, as she's holding up, notice the sternomastoid, the medial border sternocleidomastoid here. We're going to want to get a grip on sternocleidomastoid and do this wonderful technique that I invented that works both the origin and insertion of sternomastoid, also works on the fascial bag compartments too. So I'm going to get a couple fingers in here and ask her to keep turning her head left. So she does all the work. She's turning left, she's turning left, she's turning left. If she doesn't like the technique, if something is bothering her, she's getting on a carotid artery or something like that, she pulls back to neutral. As soon as she comes back to neutral, I come off. I can't hold. So keep going left. And so I'm just going to stretch it as much as she wants to stretch, spring it a little bit. Should not be a painful technique, and it shouldn't take very long. So I'm going to stretch the sternomastoids both fascially and neurologically through the Golgi tendon apparatus and get a little stretch in there. Okay.